Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratan Karunamayam. Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Om Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Srutismriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Pada Shankaram Lokashankaram. Namaste Shankarananda Guru Padambu Janmane Savila Samaha Moha Graha Grasaika Karmane. Hari Om. Yesterday we saw Sankhya and Yoga. Who is fit for Yoga? Who is fit for Sankhya? Yoga means what? For those people whose minds are extremely agitated. So many vikalpas they have. For them, Shastras prescribe Yoga Marga, Karma Yoga, Saguna Upasana Yoga, such as many other sadhanas they prescribe. Japa, Puja, Vratams, all karma. So after Karma Yoga, Saguna Brahma Upasana started worshipping Ishvara with the qualities. There, Dvaita Buddhi is maintained. Ishvara is different from me. I am his devotee. So Dvaita Buddhi is maintained. Then afterwards, Nirguna Brahma Upasana begins. For whom? For those who are mentally purified. Vijayana Muni says, after this Nirguna Brahma Upasana, Sankhya is for Vichar, inquiry, path of inquiry. So one is Yoga, other is Jnana Marga or Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya means what? Inquiry. So these two have been explained. Right? So when all the upasanas ultimately will give what? Even Nirguna Brahma Upasana will give us what? Yogyata, the eligibility to attain Jnanam. So after Nirguna Brahma Upasana also, though he has been exposed to listening to the scriptures and Mahavakyas, even maybe at the practice of Karma Yoga also, he must have heard satsang. But such kind of a thing has actually no meaning to him. Listening to Mahavakyas, he heard, but they are not converted into knowledge. They are not converted into knowledge. Jnana. So Karma Yoga is practicing, but when again Nirguna Brahma Upasana tak wahan tak pahunchne ke baad, Nirguna Brahma Upasana, what it does, all the obstacles, subtle obstacles are also removed. Very sukshma obstacles are there. Unknown, Janma Janmantara Vasanas may be there lingering here and there. All those things are exhausted and flushed out. Various Vasanas are exhausted. through Nirguna Brahma Upasana. Then he turns towards again Vichara Marga. When he goes to Guru, he is extremely purified. He listens to Guru only once, that you are Brahman, Mahavakyas. Immediately that Jnanam takes place. Right? So Shruti Mata also declares these two, Yogyata and Vichara, Yoga and Sankhya. Yoga gives you Yogyata for Vichara Marga. Then Sankhya Yoga, Sankhya when you practice, Vichara Marga will give us Jnanam. So equally important. Right? So during the sadhana, there is a long journey wherein karma is started. Predominantly karma yogi is also listening to Shastras, developing inquiry. But as the inquiry increases, sukshmata increases, subtlety increases, and the karma vasanas are all exhausted, so karma pradhanata is reduced. Karma factor, so far dominating, that reduces. So he is no more extroverted, right? More and more, whatever he is doing, everything is selfless. So selfishness to selflessness degree increases, as Gurudev says it. So because of that, purity is stable, his ability to understand scriptures is increasing day by day. Inquiry. So then becomes what? Vichara Pradhana Marga he takes. More and more he takes into self-inquiry. Right? So both are followed. Even when Vichara Marga is increasing, little karma is doing it. But predominantly he became Sankhya oriented, Vichara oriented, inquiry oriented. Right? This is what Bhagavad Gita also has said. This is what told Sankhya Yoga Adhigamyamitihi Srutihi Vadati. So in this context is what Svetashvatara Upanishad is quoted here. It says that Tat Karanam Adhigamyam. That Karanam means what? That Karanam Brahma is Adhigamyam means what? Is known. That Brahman is attained. By what? By both Sankhya and Yoga. When I say both Sankhya and Yoga, any by Sankhya and Yoga, one attains Jnanam or realization, means what? They are not two independent paths. First, Yoga is practiced, and as he continues, he enters into the area of Sankhya, zone of inquiry. And then his life is mostly predominantly inquiry oriented, sadhana he practices, and then through that inquiry, he realizes the truth. This is what has been told. So up to here we saw yesterday. Today we shall start from 136th verse. Same thought is being continued. Upasanam nati pakvam iha yasya paratrasaha marane brahma lokeva tatvam vijñāya muchyate. Is what? Upasanam na atipakvam. Now, upasana, what? Upasana, he who practices meditation. So, upasanam na api pakvam iha yasya. If there's some variation in the text, upasanam na api pakvam iha. So, yasya upasanam iha pakvam na api. Although here, when who's practicing meditation is not fructified, upasanam is not matured here in this life. So, upasanam na api pakvam iha. In this life, one who is practicing upasanam, upasana is not fructified. It is not palibhutam na bhavati. Palibhut nahi hua, upasana. So, upasana ki parakashta. Upasana has not reached the final stage. It has not become fully matured. फिर क्या होगा? उपासनम न अभिपक्वम इति. Then where does he then he will attain that? So when will he attain that perfection in upasana, reaching the top state in upasana, complete maturity in upasana? Marane paratra brahmaloke va. When upasana matured means what? Jnanam is realized. Right? Upasana matured. Upasana matured, jnanam is realized. Upasana, and then it for just he does vichara, inquiry, the truth is revealed. So Vicharamuni says all upasanas will lead to jnanam. Saguna upasana, nirguna upasana. Saguna upasana will lead, karma yoga will lead us to saguna upasana. Saguna upasana will take us to nirguna brahma upasana. Nirguna brahma upasana will take us to vichara, mahavakya vichara through shravana from the teacher again, and that gives to jnanam. So upasana will lead us to jnanam, not directly. Nirguna brahma upasana, meditation on attributeless Brahman, leads us to knowledge of realization of Aham Brahmasmi. Not directly. The intermediate step is there. That is through Mahavakya Vichara, by proper inquiry into the Mahavakyas. So Upasana will give means what? Jnana Yogyata. That is the beautiful thing. Upasana, when we practice Nirguna Brahma Upasana, it makes us eligible to receive the Jnanam. Now, how long this will take, that depends upon individual to individual. The more vasanas we have, more the density of vasanas are more, it may take longer time. Lesser the vasanas, quicker time. More vasanas, more obstacles. They manifest. More vasanas means they manifest more and more obstacles in our path. So, this upasana, whether Saguna Brahma upasana or Nirguna Brahma upasana, they give us what? Krama Mukti. Mukti in stages, liberation in stages. So when does we get that realize that jnanam? He says, marane at a time of death also. Because one man who is doing long tapasya throughout the life, and perhaps because at the end of all the prarabdhas were exhausted, related in this life, sometimes. And all the obstacles are removed at just before, moments before the death. How long it will take to realize the truth? Hardly any time. So sometimes this pakvata, maturity, the Nirguna Brahmopasana, converting itself into knowledge, even it take place at the time of Maranakala or in some other life. Paratra means other life, or the Brahmalokam Tattvam Vijnaya Muchyate. So these are the three places where truth can be revealed. After death, at the time of death, after death, or in Brahmalok. So what should we do? We should know, each of us should know how many types of obstacles are created in me So even though in meditation we all sit for dhyanam, suppose, and mind is not cooperating, mind is agitated. So what do I gain knowledge about from the agitations? What is that I can gain? From all such agitations, I can gain by looking at the kind of disturbances. I would know to whom all or to what all I am attached to, or due to what all or whom all I am disturbed. I can know. So I am either because of my raga and dvesha towards a person or towards a object, anyone, they alone come and disturb me in my meditation. They alone come means what? My own thoughts related to them or those objects. So, vikshepa, when they are caused, I can easily know to whom all I am attached. Therefore, to all those things, I must drop my attachment. I must drop my expectations, anxieties with regards to those objects or people or situations or circumstances that my mind is hankering after. Not yet created, and my mind is hankering after those circumstances also in my meditation. So I will know, acha. So what is the remedy? Remedy is karma yoga. That is dropping raga dvesha. We have to work, serve. Then purity will come. So slowly this sadhana has to continue. So at the time of death also this may be happening. This kind of realization can take place. Jnanam can takes place. At the time of death also, or after death, or even in Brahmaloka. That is the beauty of our Shastras, very clearly said. So there's no panic. But all through life, we have to do sadhana. That is the meaning. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tame vaiti yak chittaha tena yati iti shastrataha. Gita sloka only, no? 8th chapter, 6th verse, same thing Bhagavan Krishna said. So, at the time of death, Gita says, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam chadachante kalevaram. It's a law of last thought. This is called law of last thought at the time of death. So, at the time of death, whatever thought I entertain, so in that direction alone, the jiva lives. So while leaving the body, whatever thought the jiva entertains, he attains that. Tam tameva eti. Gurudev would say, the direction of the bullet in which the bullet travels depends on what? Depends on the direction of the barrel at the time of the bullet exiting the gun. So whatever direction barrel, that time, at the time of releasing the bullet, in that direction only the bullet goes. So therefore, so many, how to remember God? So unless if somebody is remembering Nirantar Upasana, Saguna Brahma, Nirguna Brahma, whatever Brahma Chintana is doing, at time of death also he remembers that alone, and remembering that alone, he leaves the body. and he attains that. Says Shastra also, not only Gita. Yat chittaha tena yati iti shastrataha. Shastras, because Gita is Shastram only, no? Gita Upanishad Saram only, Gita. So this thought is taken from Upanishad only. Which Upanishad? Prashnopanishad. Where he says, Yachittasthenaisha pranamayati pranastejasa yuktaha saha atmana tatha sankalpitam lokan nayati. Prashnopanishad. Yachchittaha tenaisha pranam ayati. Whatever one is thinking at the time of death, with that thought, he enters into prana, mukhya prana. Mukhya prana alone is there. The other pranas are all withdrawn. So mukhya prana is there. Pranaha tejasa yuktaha. That prana joins with fire, Agni principle. And that together, saha atmana. Pranaha tejasa yuktaha saha atmana. Together with the jiva. So prana, principle of fire, Agni, and the jiva. So the what you call whatever thinking, that thinking enters into prana. See that pranamaya. Prana is yoked, with prana is with fire, and together with jiva, and that will lead tata sankalpitam lokam nayati. Whatever the diva at the time of that leaving the body made sankalpa, he goes to that lokam alone. His next journey has been fashioned by the thought. Which thought? Whatever he thought is entertained at the time of leaving the body, that particular loka, that particular plane, he will go. Or the particular thought to fulfill whichever loka is assigned in the creation, to that loka he goes. So Shastra Pramana is there for this. So Yachittaha Tena Esha Pranam Ayati. So whatever vastu, whatever thinking is there in our mind at the time of death, accordingly we will leave the body and go in that direction. So I am taken next birth depending on the law of last thought. And this applies to whom? Nirguna Brahma Upasaka also. Later on it will come. Nirguna Brahma Upasaka, though he is meditating on Nirguna Brahma, he may have desire to go to Brahmaloka. He may say, why can't I go? Why can't I get Jnanam in Brahmaloka? Let me see Brahmaloka also. The desire also is there to see Brahmaloka. He wants moksha, but via Brahmaloka. That will come later on, the thought. So he will go to Brahmaloka only. So Nirguna Brahma Upasaka also, if he wants only mukti, he gets knowledge, jnana. At the time of death or after death or in Brahmaloka. If he desires to go to Brahmaloka, he will go to Brahmaloka and he will get knowledge there. Aham Brahmasmi Jnanam takes place in Brahmaloka. There it is said, Brahmaji conducts satsang every day. So when Brahmaji gives us Upadesha, Tattvamasi, I realize it as Aham Brahmasmi. The truth is realized. So, next sloka. Antyapratyyato nonam bhavi janma tatha sati nirguna pratyayopi syat sagunopasane yatha. Same thing. I just mentioned that thought. So antyapratyayataha, indeed, bhavi janma tatha sati. If this is understood now, what? Okay. Law of last thought determines the next stage, next life, next birth. So at the time of departure of ours from this world, whatever thought is entertained, in that loka we go. So this is finalized. Shastratah. Shastra just now quoted, no, Prashnopanishad. And Bhagavad Gita also it comes there. Bhagavan Vacha. Bhavijanma tatha sati. Then what happens? Nirguna pratyayaha api syat. Like a Saguna Brahma Upasaka, Saguna Upasane Yatha, just as now law of last thought is established. If this is the meaning, determined meaning, that law of law, the last thought determines the next life. This is, if this is the truth, if this is the law, just as Saguna Upasaka merges in Saguna Brahma, Upasya Devata. He merges in Upasya Devata. That Saguna Brahma Upasaka is merged where? In the Saguna Brahma Upasya Devata. Oh, Ishvara, Krishna, Rama, whatever Saguna Upasana you are doing, you will merge in that. That is called personal God. That is Upasana. That is that Jiva absorbed in that divinity, in that personal God, in that Saguna Brahma. So, just as in the case of Saguna Brahma Upasaka, he merges in his Ishtadevata, similarly, Nirguna Brahma Upasaka is what? So, Nirguna Brahma Upasaka is also absorbed in Nirguna Brahma and attains liberation. Nirguna Pratyayopi. Now, that means what? Is there any Punarjanma for Nirguna Brahma Upasaka? Because in the case of Saguna Brahma Upasakas, we know that Saguna Brahma Upasaka, he will attain his Ishtadevata Loka, again Krama Mukti, through that slowly he may go to Brahma Loka, then Brahma Loka to Jnanam, then he will attain liberation. So Vidyarmuni says, as long as you are an Upasaka, whether Saguna Brahma or Nirguna Brahma, Punarjanma is applicable. Principle of Punarjanma is applicable. You may take birth in this loka or higher loka, but Punarjanma is unavoidable. We cannot avoid Punarjanma. That's the meaning. This life or next, whether we go to next, we can come back to Manushya Loka, all that thoughts will come. Or we may go to Ishtadevata Loka, we may go to Brahma Loka to again Jnana. Ultimately, any Upasaka, Punarjanma is unavoidable. Why? Upasaka means what? He is not become Jnani. He has not yet realized. Aham Brahmasmi, Jnanam did not take place in him so far. When Jnanam, Aham Brahmasmi, Jnanam takes place, then there is no question of coming back into this loka. He is liberated. So what do you say here in this? Nirguna pratyayopi sya sagunopasane yatha. He also merges Nirguna Brahma, Upasaka is absorbed in Nirguna Brahma. Not directly, through Jnana only. Though Vijayarmani says Nirguna Brahma Upasaka will be merged in Brahman, but in between one stage is there. What is that? Jnanam takes place. Aham Brahmasmi Jnanam should take place. Then only he is liberated. कहने के लिए हम कहते हैं कि निर्गुण ब्रह्म उपासक भी मोक्ष को प्राप्त कर लेता है. सो मोक्ष की प्राप्ति उनको भी होती है. किसको? निर्गुण ब्रह्म उपासक को भी. माने ऐसा समझाया जाता है कि अच्छा इसका मतलब निर्गुण ब्रह्म उपासक भी मोक्ष को प्राप्त कर लेता है. सो निर्गुण ब्रह्म उपासना के द्वारा मोक्ष की प्राप्ति. सीधा है यहाँ पे नहीं होता है, बीच में और एक स्टेप है. तो ज्ञानम विचार थोड़ा हल्का वहां पे. ज्ञान की प्राप्ति ज्ञानादेव तो कैवल्य. ज्ञानम मीन्स व्हाट? अहम ब्रह्मास्मि. That only when realized that I am Brahman, I am eternal, pure consciousness, that Jnanam alone gives me liberation. So Upasana will, Nirguna Brahma Upasana will take me to that Yogyata Prapti, because all the obstacles are removed. Then I become fit enough for Jnanam. I get Jnanam. That Jnanam gives me moksha. That is the truth. Okay. So here, next line, next sloka says, Nityam nirguna rupam tannama matrena giyatam arthamoksho evaisha samvadi brahmavan mataha. So Nityam nirguna rupam tannama matrena giyatam. Now here, we can probably insert a doubt. We can imagine a doubt. Here, imagine the doubt is asked by opponent, and to that doubt, Vijayaraman is answering this sloka. What he says now here? Saguna Brahma Upasaka, thinking of Saguna Brahma, merges in Saguna Brahma. So what is it here? Tatkruta Nyaya. It will come later on. So Nityam Nirguna Rupam Tan Nama Matrena Giyatam Arthataha Moksha Eva Yesha Samvada Brahman Mataha. So what is happening? Here, Sabha Purvakshi asks, sir, so Nirguna Brahma Upasaka is meditating on Nirguna Brahma even at the time of leaving the body. So what is the law? That will come next sloka. Tatkartu Nyayaha, meaning what? In Brahma Sutra, as you think, so you become. That is the law. So Saguna Bhakta will merge in Saguna Brahma. Nirguna Brahma Upasaka will merge in Nirguna Brahman. So the Purvapakshi says this result, Nirguna Brahma Upasaka absorbed in Nirguna Brahma. So Nirguna Brahma Aikyam only. He may not get moksha. He is merged in Nirguna Brahma. Saguna Brahma merges Saguna Brahma. Nirguna Brahma Upasaka merges in Nirguna Brahma Upasaka. He may not get moksha. Vijayarmuni says, my dear, absorption in Nirguna Brahma itself is called moksha. So Nirguna Brahma ऐक्य में नो निर्गुण ब्रह्म के साथ एक होना, that itself is called moksha, other name for moksha. So तन नाम मात्रेण गीयताम, उसको हम कहने के लिए कहते हैं कि निर्गुण ब्रह्म की प्राप्ति. वास्तव में निर्गुण ब्रह्म की प्राप्ति माने वास्तव में मोक्ष ही है. So निर्गुण ब्रह्म ऐक्य, oneness with निर्गुण ब्रह्म implies moksha only. See, what is that? Nityam Nirguna Rupam. That is Nityam, eternal. Nirguna Rupam. There is no guna, attributeless Brahman. Tan namamatrena giyatan. For namesake, the Brahman is called. But actually is what? Arthataha moksha eva. Meaning what? Actually, that itself is the nature of liberation. So don't separate Nirguna and again Jnanam. Nirguna Brahma, attaining Nirguna Brahman itself is moksha. Samvadi Brahmavata. Like in Samvadi Brahma, we saw already a beneficial error. He saw a two light, one somebody saw a light. He thought it is a light from diamond, but he got diamond. So first in the time, beginning he doesn't know, he's not confirmed that it is diamond. He only anticipated, but he got it. Similarly, he gets that Nirguna Brahma, Aikya is moksha he will get. How does he get Nirguna Brahma Pasaka? He should get Jnanam only. No? We saw already Jnanam at what time he will get? Either at the time of death or after death or in Brahmaloka. In other life or in Brahmaloka. At the time of death, in next life, Bhavi Janma or Brahmaloka. And Nirguna Brahmapasaka, Krama Mukti goes to Brahmaloka after death. From there, he gets Jnanam. Ultimately, he gets moksha. That is the sequence. That is the journey of spiritual progress. Or he may come back to Manushaloka, practice spirituality, get Sadhya Mukti here. Instantly, without again going to Brahmaloka, any loka. He has come back to earth again and again without going to any other loka. He comes back, pursues his sadhana, and realizes the truth here itself. So this is very clearly said by Vidyaranyamuni. So therefore, tat samarthyadhyayatehe jayate dhirmula vidyanivartika avimuktopasanena taraka brahma buddhivat tasmat tat samarthyat, not tasmat, tat samarthyat jayate dhihi Mula avidya nivartika. Avimuktopasanena taraka brahma buddhivat. So how will you get krama mukti for upasaka? This is the question. He says, as a result of nirguna brahma upasana, tat samarthyat jayate. Throughout his life, one is practicing Nirguna Brahma Upasana. Because of that, knowledge arises. Dhi Mula Avidya Nivartika. By destroying the ignorance, Mula Avidya Nivartika. By destroying the root cause. The root cause is what? Mula Avidya, ignorance. That Avidya is the root cause for Janma. That Mula Avidya is destroyed by this Nirguna Brahma Upasana. As what? Avimuktopasanena Taraka Brahma Buddhivat. So, Upasana, when some Nirguna Brahma Upasana followed throughout his life, and what is the result of it? Nirguna Brahma Upasana thought, Nirguna Brahma thought he will get at the time of death. Because he has been practicing throughout life, he will remember Brahman alone. So he will go to Brahmaloka. Upasaka only, no? So he will go to Brahmaloka. In Brahmaloka, he gets Jnanam as Aham Brahmasmi. Just as Saguna Upasaka merges in Saguna Brahma, Avimuktopasanena Taraka Brahma Buddhivat. See, Vimukta means what? Vimukta means one who is free. Free from what? Here the meaning is free from all dharma, adharma rules. Here important meaning a little twisted here. Vimukta means freed. From what? One who is freed from all kinds of dharma, adharmas, nothing. There is no dharma applicable, no adharma applicable. Who are they? Animals. So all the animals are what? They are not bound by dharma and adharma. No, they don't lack free will. They don't have free will. No, they are called bhoga yoni. They are called vimukta. They are freed from all dharma, adharma. Nothing is applicable for them. Papa, punya. They are all called vimukta. So all pashus are vimukta. So avimukta Pashupati, Shiva. It comes in Kaivalya Upanishad. So avimukta means what? Shiva. So avimukta upasanena, one who is worshipping Lord Shiva, Shiva upasana, Ishvara upasana. So Saguna Brahma upasaka, just as one who is doing Ishvara upasana, he will get moksha, Ishvara prapti. He will get Ishvara, he will go to Kailasha. How? Taraka Brahma Buddhivat. It is said, those who are worshipping Lord Shiva throughout their life, and one who is practicing this in Kashi. So at the time of death, Lord Shiva gives Taraka Brahma Upadesha. At the time of death, Lord Shiva gives in the ears of the dying man, he chants mantra, Taraka Brahma mantra. That which liberates you from samsara and makes you liberated. When Shiva gives Upadesha, liberation is guaranteed. He goes to that Brahma, Deva, Ishtadevata Loka. From there, he will get the Jnanam and then he will liberate it. Similarly, say Avimukta Upasanena Taraka Brahma Buddhivat, like this Taraka, like Avimukta Upasana, Ishvara Upasana, Saguna Brahma Upasakas, doing worship of Shiva, instructed or Upadesha given by Shiva, Taraka Mantra Bhoda, at the time of death, they go to that particular loka and get liberated. Just as in the case of Saguna Brahma Upasakas, similarly, Nirguna Brahma Upasakas also, Moola Vidya is destroyed, they go to Brahmaloka and then they gain Mukti. That is the meaning. So now Shruti is now told about it, quoted here. Next mantra, Shruti spoke about it. Sokamo nishkamayiti hyashariro nirindriyaha avayam hiti muktatvam tapaniye phalam srutam. Here is what? What is it? In the Nrisimhatapaniya Upanishad. It is said, he who attains Brahman. He attains Brahman is what? Who is attains Brahman? The one who attains Brahman is because of desireless. He is not attached. He is also beyond the body. He is fearless. So Upasaka, who is unattached. First is what? Saha akamaha iti muktatvam. First one is what? Akamaha, desireless. No desires are entertained, even regarding spiritual development, anxiety also he gives up. That is why great Mahatmas, they speak Moksha Sannyasa Yoga in 18th chapter. They say Moksha sannyasa yoga means what? One meaning is what? Sannyasena moksha. One is liberation through renunciation. One that is the one meaning. Second meaning is what? Give up even the desire for liberation also. Renouncing even the desire for liberation. Because the desire for liberation I am holding on to means what? Liberation is away from me. A jnani who is practicing the Vichara Marga, he gives up the desire also because he only knows that I am already Brahman. I am only have to establish myself in it. So it is not away from me. With that idea, he tries to establish himself within himself. He never entertains a thought that in time I will be liberated. That thought he doesn't get. He never thinks that liberation is away from him. He never says liberation is to be attained by desiring. He says, the desire also gave up because it is already with me, nitya vastu. So, akamaha. Nishkama means what? Even vasanas, even deceits also are not there. And so, one is unattached. Nishkama is even seeds of vasanas are also given up. All the things are exhausted. And ashariraha, there is no, because of this tremendous transformation, there is no identification with the body also. He has awakened himself to another state of consciousness where he knew that he is not this body. It's a fact for me. Now, what is the fact for us? I am the body is the fact. For a jnani, he says, I am not the body becomes a fact. Ashariraha, nirindriyaha, is no more identified with sense organs. Therefore, sense organs cannot bind him. Then he is fearless also. Iti muktatvam tapaniye palam srutam. So this is the state of liberation explained, declared in Nrsimha Tapani Upanishad. So in this upasana, what is that upasana? Here in this Upanishad, Omkara Vicharam, Omkara Upasana, both are taught. Omkara Vichara is inquiry into the nature of Omkara. A, O, Ma, Mandukya Karika Upanishad. One is inquiry. What is Amatra? What is Umatra? What is Makara, Akara, Ukara, Makara, Arthamatra? All those things are inquired deeply. Some people inquire into the nature of A, O, Ma. That's one class of people. Some others what? Do upasana of Omkara. Om Japa, Anusthana, they do. Upasana. Okay. So, some people practice Omkara Brahma Vichara. Brahman, which is this Omkara, is a symbol of Brahma. So, they do that inquiry of the nature of Omkara or Brahman. Others would do Omkara Upasana. So, one who does Omkara Upasana in this life, if he gets Jnanam, liberated. Otherwise, he will go to Brahmaloka, he will get liberated. Nishkama means what? There is no kama. No, there is no kama, akama. Freed from all kinds of desires. Desire भी नहीं है, non-desire भी नहीं है. Freed from that. Either way, it doesn't bind me. Like for example, I'm taking food, right? Say example I'm giving you. Say something is, so for Mahatma, salt. So suppose salt is not there in the food. For ordinary people like all of us, we feel food is tasteless because there is no salt in it. So I desire salt. For a Mahatma, there are some Mahatmas in life, I'm just talking to you about them only. Then there were instances in their life they never bothered. Whether namak is there or namak is not there, there is no desire for namak, there is no non-desire for namak also. Somebody offers namak, okay, welcome. Meaning they are freed from that thought. That is the meaning of freedom from all available kama and akama. There is no kama, no akama, completely freed. So they are not inviting any new karma. Such upasakas. They're extremely purified. They go to Brahmaloka. They do that realization. They get realized in that jnanam they get in Brahmaloka, and they get Aham Brahmasmi jnana. So this is mentioned in what? Nrusimhatapaniya Upanishad. Vijayamuni is quoting many Upanishads also, Brahma Sutras also, telling us that this Nirguna Brahma Upasana also has karma mukti. It is not sadhyo mukti. Nirguna Brahma Upasana directly will not give us liberation. It will give us jnanam first, and then jnanam will give me liberation. See, example, who has got the knowledge of sugar? Somebody studied about sugar, the color, the processing, and then the benefits and the uses and side effects and effects and side effects of overconsumption, this and that, and everything is studied, but he never tasted. So, can we say that he has got the knowledge of sugar? He may have information about sugar, all outside sugar only. About sugar, he has gained the knowledge about sugar, but not knowledge of the sugar. अभी फर्क समझ में आ गया? He has got the knowledge about sugar, not the knowledge of sugar. So when does he get knowledge of sugar? When he just eats, tastes the sugar, then he gets the knowledge of sugar. So knowing about is different from actual knowing. So that is called jnana. Actual knowing is called jnana. Okay. Upasanasya samarthyat vidyotpattir bhavet tataha nanya pantha iti hetat shastram naiva virudhyate. So, upasanasya samarthyat vidya utpattihi bhavet. So, only on the strength of upasana, Nirguna Brahma Upasana. In the previous sloka, what did he say? Nirguna Brahma Upasaka will get moksha. What did we say? We will not get directly moksha. He has to go through jnanam only. What is jnanam? I just gave sugar example. That is called Jnanadevo to Kaivalya. Then only he is liberated. So, upasanasya samarthya vidya utpatti bhavet. So, Vijayamuni says, by the upasana balam, knowledge arises. Vidya utpatti, not moksha. Earlier, moksha he said. Now, knowledge arises. Knowledge gives you moksha. Now, he is clarifying the intermediate step. Otherwise, how can Nirguna Brahma Upasana give us moksha? Whether it is done in here or after death in another loka or Brahma loka in other life at the time of death. How can Upasana give you liberation? So Vidyamani clarifies, no. Upasanasya samarthyat vidya utpatti bhavet. Because I am clarifying now. Upasana ke dwara vidya will is the intermediate step. Knowledge will take place. Not knowledge about, knowledge of. Temporarily, even knowledge of also not to be used, but for understanding, I am saying this example. So, scripture says, Nanya Panta iti etat shastram nai viruddhyate. Upanishad says very clearly, there is no other path. Jnana devato kaivalyam. Upanishad says there is no other path to Brahman, to know Brahman, other than Jnanam. And this is not contradicting the scriptural statements. So, Nirguna Brahma Upasaka will not get moksha directly. He will get first Jnana, Vidya Utpatti. Once that Jnanam takes place, he gets liberated. That is called liberation. Like eating sugar is actually gain the knowledge of sugar. Similarly, Brahma Vastu, Aham Brahmasmi is realized. That is called knowledge of Brahman. Once I get this, I am liberated. Okay. So I'll stop here. Tomorrow we can start from 143rd verse. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you. Hari Om.